What's up, guys? Today we're going to be doing the pads and rotors all the way around on my 2003 Volkswagen Jetta 1.9 TDI.
You too crazy.
Alright, if you can tell, I already got started. I got the front passenger rotor already put on. I still haven't got the caliper depressed yet, but yeah, you'll see along the way. If you don't have a caliper tool, you could always use like a C-clamp if you got one around your house. Lucky for me, my calipers doesn't take those little divots, so I can just use a C-clamp. And if you also have a local auto parts store around you that's like family owned, I would recommend going there. Only because Vance Auto, Napa, O'Reilly, AutoZone, all them guys, they wanted to charge me $200 for front pads and front rotors, which is a good deal. Local auto parts store, they was only charging me $200 for pads and rotors all the way around. So definitely check out your local auto parts store that's family owned if you have one. Shout out to Dunman's Parts Company here in Newark, Ohio. We're gonna go right ahead. We're gonna dig into getting these brakes done. Kind of on a time crunch today. All right, so now after you get your caliper and your pads and rotor on, we're gonna go ahead and hit it with some brake clean. Get all that grime off. Now you guys are probably gonna say, "Oh, AJ, you're doing this wrong. You didn't put lubricant on the brakes. You didn't put the screw in the rotor. Yada yada yada." I never do. Never had any issues, never had any problems. And you guys are still gonna complain about it either way. I almost never do. That's just a personal preference for me. The screw that goes in these rotors, they do tend to break, strip out. And then the lubricant, I just never really cared to. I don't ever get squeaky brakes or anything like that from it. So anyways, so we're gonna move on to the front driver. Front driver's side, and yeah, so 3 more to go. All right, so I got the wheel back on. I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with the torque wrench. Always make sure to torque your wheels down to spec. That way your wheel don't go flying off down the road. One thing I forgot to do on that side was put my wheel under my car under the pinch weld. You should do that in case you don't have any jack stands or anything to use. If your jack goes out, this car is going to end up falling. You're going to have nothing to hold it. So always put a wheel behind your jack. You know, that way it has something to fall onto. Okay, so something I didn't mention when I got started. You're going to want to take, on these 03 Jettas, there's 2 T45s on your caliper. You're going to want to take this one off, and there's another one below. I'll keep this guy. But yeah, so you want to take this off, the bottom one off, both T45s. You'll take your flathead, you'll pry up on your caliper, will slide right off, and then as soon as you get done with that, you take your C-clamp or your caliper, your caliper depression tool. You'll compress the caliper back into place. You put your new pads in. You put the caliper, or you put your new pads in. You put the new rotor on. You put the caliper back on. Put the T45s back in, tighten them up, and spray it down with some brake clean. That's it. It's a pretty simple process on these cars. They're older, so pretty easy to work on. so just for future reference, since I'm not doing it, you guys definitely should. Make sure to hang your caliber up somewhere with like a hanger or a zip tie. That way you don't pitch a brake line or cause a leakage. Again, I'm not doing it. I suggest you do. So I don't want to take any fault here, but yes, make sure you do that. All right, so now we're moving to the back side. Got the front done. Let's knock the back out. So the back's going to be a little bit different. It's going to take a 13 mil socket to take this top bolt and bottom one out. Same thing as before, flathead, pull the caliber off, put your new pads in, your rotor on. Well, first you got to decompress your caliber. And yeah, pretty much the same thing as the front. You can tell these rotors are gone. So as of right now, we are stuck on the rear brakes, only because the rear pads are pretty much non-existent, and they're to the point where whatever's left of the rear pads, I can't even get removed unless I use heat. Also, the bracket that holds the caliber, it's pretty much rusted out too. So it's definitely going to need a torch. A friend of mine is going to help me with that here after a bit. And yeah, so we're stuck. I'll put the clip in the video that I sent to him, pretty much showing how bad it is. There's my rotor, for instance. I can't get this bolt off because it's rusted out and stripped out. Can't get that one off because of the same reason. And that's what's left of the rear of one of the pads, and I can't get it out. So, story of my fucking life. The brake caliber froze up, so we have to go to O'Reilly's and buy a new one. All right, so we did get the car finished. I apologize, I didn't show, the rest of the process. It got dark out on us. But yeah, we ended up having to use a torch to free up that caliber bracket, and it was not easy by any means. Very thankful for him helping me out with that. It took way longer than expected, but we did get it done. Sorry I couldn't show y'all the entire process, but it's what happens when you buy a car with high mileage. It's also from Cleveland, so. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully I can upload more videos soon, as I'm just now starting to get into this kind of stuff. So if you like to, comment what I could do better next time. Comment things I could work on, maybe work on the video, stuff like that. So again, I appreciate it. I thank him a lot for helping me.